We're going to do tomorrow. Daddy doesn't have to work. Xbox doesn't have for a little bit.
Oh, that's nice. Thank you. You know, I think I'm gonna get more. Okay, that's delicious. It is good.
¿Cómo se dice? Everyone have a libro. ¿Cómo se dice en español? Libro.
How do you say what?
How do you say? Does everyone have a book?
Todos tienen un libro.
Todos tienen un libro. See? Okay. Does everyone have a book? All right, great. We just want to make sure that everyone has a book. All right, good, 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 good. Well, my name is Andre Cohen, and I see lots of familiar faces. Good to see you. Good to see you. I see new faces and new friends. Right, Creighton? Yes. Right. And I am kind of the father's coach, so to speak. And so we're going to read the book, start a craft with the kids. After the craft, we'll have the kids go play in the gym, and the fathers will stay here and we'll talk. We'll, como se dice, talking, hablan, right? So, trying. Muy bien. Gracias. So we'll stay here and talk. There's a couple of things that and resources that I like to provide you with. One of which is Dana from the Anoka County Library, and she'll spend some time talking with us. And then there's just some things I want us to think about as fathers, as we shepherd our young people. And so we'll spend some time talking about those things. And if you haven't noticed that Brittany it will be our reader, and our theme has been snow because we've had snow in the past on today. Right? So Brittany, go ahead and introduce yourself and what role you play here at Head Start.
Sounds good. I'm Brittany. I'm a family service worker, so I might have some of your kids, and then I'm also teaching at Columbia Heights right now too as well. So yeah, so I'm gonna read The Snowman all year.
Would you give me just
Yeah.
so I can tell?
Yeah.
Okay, entonces él es el que está dirigiendo este programa de Fred. Lo voy a hacer así en voz alta porque va a ser más rápido. Van a leer ahorita un libro y después del libro lo va a hacer una actividad. Después de la actividad, entonces nos vamos a separar. Los papás se quedan aquí y las mamás con los hijos nos vamos a otro cuarto a cuidar a los niños. Mientras nos quedamos los papás aquí es donde ahí les voy a interpretar sobre los temas que va a hablar. Viene una señorita de la librería y Brittany, que ella es maestra de Columbia Heights, es la que va a leer el libro. Okay? Thank you.
Yeah. And then dads, if you want to help the kids follow along too. I'll try and do my best. So this one's called Snowman All Year. Snowman All Year. I love to build a snowman on freezing winter days, but when the sun is bright and warm, my snowman melts away. There's nothing but a puddle when my snowman disappears. If only he were magic and could stay with me all year. Hey. I teach him how to fly a kite high above the trees. Then we would dig for pirate gold or sail 7 seas. I know that he would love to see the tigers at the zoo. See the tigers? And at my birthday party, we would celebrate his too. We go on all the wildest rides at the amusement park. But best of all would be fireworks lighting up the dark. On stormy evenings, I would play my favorite games with him. On sunny days, I teach him how to dive and how to swim. On summer evenings in the dark, we chase some fireflies. Or sleep out in the quiet woods beneath the starry skies. At the beach, we play all day. He'd get very sandy. We trick or treat on Halloween and bring home lots of candy. Maybe this is magic snow that will not disappear. And this snowman will be the one to stay with me all year. You think he's going to stay with them all year? No. What if he's a magic snowman? Magic snowman. Okay, now I can explain the craft.
Yes.
Do you guys want to make your own magic snowmans? Yeah? Do you see on the wall over there? Do you see that snowman? Hanging up? Look at his nose. He's looking up in the sky at the starry night. We're going to make our own snowman, okay? Okay, so this is going to be what we're going to glue. We're going to glue all the pieces of our snowman onto this paper. And then we're going to glue, look at this is his body. So this one will be the bottom one. See how it's half? So that one will be the bottom, and we're going to glue it on the bottom. And then we're going to glue this little circle on top, and that's going to be his body, okay? And then we're going to give him a nose. See how it's looking up? You're going to put it up here and give him a nose. And then you're going to use 2 of these and give him a scarf. So he doesn't get cold, right? And then you're going to give him some buttons with these ones. Yeah, he has buttons. And you're going to color a smile on his face. And then we have snow. This is snow for the snowman. And then you're going to put the snow all around. So you can look up there and you can ask us if you have questions, but we'll pass these out. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah.
He's going to help you? Okay.
I'm gonna help you, but you're gonna do it too. Okay.
Are you gonna make a magic snowman? You're welcome.
You want it? Here. You want me to help you? Sit up. All right. Sit down. Right here.
Nice job. Coloring.
Push too hard. Push too hard.
Whose case don't work, just let me know.
My husband, no.
Okay, so I just need them too, so they know.
Okay.
Where's the circle?
Made them blue,
Like
right?
circles? Somebody has. Oh, she's on her way. That's fun.
Yeah.
We're gonna pass out my if they would like. Just ask, yeah.
Do you want one too? Okay.
But they
Do
might.
you guys want one? I'm okay, I'm a color. Do you wanna do this for me too?
So Crayola crayons, all adult line
You guys wanna do this?
crayons and books. Yeah.
Okay, so I gave them I was at Barnes Noble the other day.
It's silent for you.
I actually get to do it at work, so you know.
Yes.
Getting it? I'm gonna try to keep on the edges too. Just like that.
Or whatever that. Yeah. So he's been driving for me, but he's got his first commercial flight tonight. He's kind of nervous. That would be funny. Did you bring your pajamas and your toothbrush? No, me either.
Yeah, we don't show the wild game here.
Do you remember what they said these two were for? What they said these two were for? That's right. So smart. So they're just gonna think, well, how do we do it? You see where you go like that. They're just gonna think, well, we're gonna put it. Then we're shooting this
So like, do you guys get library contracts?
Yes.
Yeah, I do.
Do you? They expire every 4 years, so.
Okay, yeah, it's probably.
Something
Oh,
ahead of time
You got
that we
lots of
can
people.
at least have a readout, have an idea what I want to
Okay,
talk
yeah,
about.
that's why.
That will make it a little easier for us.
Yeah.
Just because it's very hard to translate simultaneously. So I think that I haven't talked to Alex about it, but I think that last time I heard, but at the time that I was translating, I missed something that you were saying. So I don't know if
Do that. I don't have any, but I can.
oh no, just for like, I mean, I know we have like the next one until February.
Yep.
But at least the subject, so I have an idea of
Cars.
already have it together, so I can
Recently, your cars. Your cars go.
Okay, now what was my question? Okay. Are you gonna give each family?
You can sell cars.
the small one is. Ours is easier.
Really?
Right there, that.
Oh, thank you. And right now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna sit with the two. And I'm just gonna be like quiet, I'm gonna be whispering.
No, you can. I mean, what you have to say is what I have to say.
That's all.
So if there's
We want. Yeah.
So he asked.
I knew something was like totally off. Usually she comes running in and sits in my lap.
Oh, yeah.
And I bet I felt bad. Yeah, so I didn't know.
These guys are great here.
Yeah.
Okay, so here, this is, I'm here on it.
Yeah. Surprise! Yeah. We do an RSVP. Like 2 of our people are RSVP. Oh wow. Actually, we have families that we, no complaints. It was just like surprise. Yeah. We always prepare for like 20 families. Okay. So we always have the stuff. It's just like, it's a surprise, and we recognize like 2 families, so 3 families. Excellent. So yeah, like we'll take 2 families any day. Keep it going. Oh, you're doing a good job, Andre.
Well, thank you
I
very
like your
much.
focus.
Stay within the line,
Oh, I feel that every time.
Except-
my story.
except for when you need to go outside the line.
Yeah, you can't always be in the box.
That's right.
One of the kids told me that one time, and they repeated the whole Taco Bell commercial to me.
That is funny.
Oh, his eyes are small. That's all around.
I'm just gonna tell you that you can have this snowman if you want. Right, it's very flimsy, but yeah. Take it apart, yeah.
Yeah, he's good. Just a switch.
They're just swishing us on these. I'll leave your colors so you can finish.
No, please.
No, you're doing a good job.
Thank
You want a
you.
spare
So
to bring home?
focused. So focused.
No, you're good. You
Doing a
can,
good
I'm
job.
not gonna take them away from them to their dogs. so-
Okay.
So you can finish.
No,
We're just doing the.
we're done. Yeah. Thank you. All right.
Just like that. Is that loud open?
It is an awesome project.
So do you live right here?
Yeah, right down the mountain view. Yeah, I thought I lived in Anoka County until I figured out that it's Ramsey.
Ramsey.
It's Ramsey County.
You don't have to make library cards, you know this stuff.
Right. Now I heard there's some changes with your boss.
Yeah, Marlene is announced her retirement.
Oh, she's one of my favorite people on the planet.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah,
I've known her a long time. She's wonderful.
she's a wonderful.
The other night, after she had announced her retirement, I was following her out of the parking lot at 6 o'clock at night. It was starting to get dark. And she pulls over and starts carrying walks around the sign in the library. I'm like, Marlene, you're the director. It's actually like the weird me, you know, but that's her.
That's her. That's her. Yeah, I hope she enjoys herself in retirement because she's not ready to retire. I mean, in terms of life
Right, right,
stuff. So, no, one of those favorite people on the planet. Right, ready?
We're gonna give you guys 3 more minutes. Finish up.
You ever told your teachers that your daddy's working across the street? Huh? Remember you came there? He's working right across the street and that's your teacher. Yeah. We're gonna skip this one. I see. You do it. I want you to do it. Just like that. It's okay if you Your dad's gonna stink. There's a couple of things.
So I have a Boy Scout at my house. He's a Life Scout. So he's sort of losing steam. Well, we live in Ohio.
Where in Ohio?
Near Toledo.
Okay. I'm from Ohio as well.
All right.
So.
So he was in his troop well, and he did really well there. And now since we moved, he's joining the troop, but it's not really his yet.
Yeah. Relocating to Minnesota is tough
Yeah.
for someone who absolutely didn't grow up. And those circles are tight circles as well. So more, yeah. So, senior, sophomore. Is it his plan to get his Eagle Scout?
Yes, that's what he says, but his actions don't.
Yeah, it's a tough deal. But if he wants to keep going, either trip to his with or even going down to ECA, which is the base camp down by the airport. He can get some support there too. So.
Yeah, it seems like a nice troop, but we'll see. I'm waiting for him to tell me he wants to be done.
Right.
I'm not gonna say it for him.
Right. That's part of leadership too. Yeah, I have lots of family members from Toledo, and I grew up in Dayton.
Alright, Magic Snowman.
Wow, look at that snowman. It looks just like the one up there. That is so cool. Oh, I like your nose on your snowman. That is super. Super. Muy bonita. Yes, that is wonderful. Look at him. He's got a smiley face because he's happy. Oh, I like that, Travis. You put your name on that. So that's Travis the Snowman, Travis the Third. Ah, very cool. Very cool. You're welcome, You're welcome.
Okay, now we're gonna go play. All the kids, we're gonna go play in the gym over there. And your dads are gonna stay in here. Okay. Who guys wanna come play? And moms, if there's any moms here.
Hey, Listen, okay? Have fun.
Y muchas gracias, Ángel, por entender el hecho de que las mamás no les hicieron prohibido, pero la razón por la que mantenemos se abren más cuando
Mayores, vámonos.
no, las mamás de hecho, no pueden beneficiar. Es el libro de Santo de la otra, ya sabes. Sí, sí, sí.
Adiós, mamá.
¿Quieren pasar para acá o nos vamos para allá? Vamos a ver.
So Mike has to leave at about 1:15, is that right?
Yep.
So I want to make sure that I use this time wisely. There is one thing that came up in the news that I want to talk about before I bring Dana up. And it's really something that hurts my heart. And it is that incident that happened at that Applebee's in Coon Rapids, where the woman was assaulted for not speaking English. Did you guys hear about that, Steve? See that and stuff? You have a friend that works there,
Yes.
right? So you probably know more details than I probably do a little bit. Okay. I am saddened by that because we are a country of immigrants. Some of our immigration happened soon, and others, it has been generations before we became Americans. And so I want us, in whatever sphere of influence, to remind people that we're a nation of immigrants. Particularly since tomorrow is Veterans Day, celebrating men and women who have fought for our right to be immigrants. So I want you to think about that. It didn't mean to bring the spirit down, but I did want this to be a sobering opportunity, because if we don't understand each other or take the time to understand each other, we will never understand ourselves. The things that other people want are very similar to the things that I want for my family. And do we have any folks who've served in the armed services? Other than, I know Travis has, you have as well? And where did you serve, sir? Okay, so your friend served in Iraq, okay. And you serve currently, is that correct?
Yeah, I've done active duty and reserve now.
Okay, so you're in the reserves now and you've done active duty. And I want to say thank you.
Thank you.
And tell your friend I said thank you as well, right? Because tomorrow is an important time. And so we'll come back to this conversation, but I wanted to say that, especially before Mike has to leave, because I do want us to continue to think about that, to question those people who think that their America is the only America there is, because it is all of ours and we shape it on a daily basis. Right? So, Dana.
Wow.
So sorry.
Good evening. My name is Dana, and I work at the Anoka County Library in Northtown. How many of you have library cards? Great. If you don't have a library card, they're easy to get. They're free. So just come to the library, bring your driver's license or some ID, and we can get you a library card. And everything at the library almost is free. So it doesn't cost anything. You can use the building. We have computers there. And we have classes for adults and for kids. Just this week for kids, we had a Lego program where they could just come and use our Legos and make the mess at our place, right? And then you could just go home and leave the mess behind. So we got a lot of different opportunities for kids. We have homework help, story times for the younger kids like are here tonight. We've got current DVDs, all kinds of things you can check out. Materials check out for 3 weeks. And you can renew it up to 4 times. So if you're a slow reader, that's okay. Just keep renewing it. I did bring tonight some books I thought your kids might like. And I made a list. The American Library Association has put together some of the best picture books for this year. And so I just put together some of them that I thought if you come to the library, these might be some fun ones to take a look at. There you go.
And another good list is the car repair manual.
Oh, yeah. If you have car trouble, we have manuals you can check out at the library to fix your car or to fix your refrigerator or do all kinds of things that I don't know how to do. So these are some of the notable kids books for this year. And I brought some we can show you, but I really want to talk about what's on the back here. It's called dialogic reading, and it seems like a big word, but it's the root word for dialogue. So when you read to your child every night, this is just a different way of doing it. And so I brought this book, If You Give a Mouse a Cookie, and it talks about that in this dialogic reading. So,
has anyone read this book to your children?
do you know this one?
Yes.
It's kind of a circular story where the mouse gets a cookie and then he's thirsty and then he needs milk. And,
Sound familiar?
but yeah, when you do dialogic reading, you don't actually read the words. It has nothing to do with reading words. So you would just pick any page with your child and you want to ask open-ended questions. So this is really led by the child. So you might say, well, what do you think is going on in this picture? And wait for them to respond. And sometimes kids take a long time to respond. Give them a moment to think about their answer, and they'll tell you what they think. So you don't want to ask yes or no questions. Ask, what do you think is happening? How do you think that this happened? What do you think will happen next? So that's the prompt your child. And then whatever they say, just respond to them. Yes, I think you're right. I think they did wash these dishes and now they're drying. So you just want to acknowledge that they've responded to you. And you can add more words. Maybe expand their vocabulary. If they say, oh, he's holding a cookie, you can say, yes, he's holding a round chocolate chip cookie. So you can affirm what they've said, but also increase their vocabulary by adding some more unique words. And then you can just repeat what they've said. Yes, the mouse wanted cookie, or yes, they're looking in the mirror and making funny faces, or whatever your child has said. So this is a way, if you don't feel like reading so much, this is really more interactive than regular reading. And again, you can skip around the book, take your lead from the child. And some books are better for this than others. The Snowman book that you got tonight would be a good one too. Just talk to them about what they see. And so this creates more of an interaction than just you blah, 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 your child all the time. So then at the bottom, there's some examples of prompts you can use with your child. So the first one is completion. They're going to go to the, and then let your child fill in the word. Let them complete your sentence. And you can ask them if they know this story. You can ask them, maybe if you've read the Snowman book 17 times by tomorrow, you can say, you know, what happened on the 4th of July, or what did they get for Halloween? You kind of have them fill in what's happening next. Again, open-ended questions. And then you also want to ask questions about, well, how do you think this person feels? Or, you know, look at his face. What do you think he's thinking about at this time? And let the child interpret for you what's going on. So this is just a fun way of sharing books with children that doesn't involve reading. So it's worked really well, and it almost makes the reading process makes you feel closer with the child, because it's more sharing than just talking to a child.
Dana, so the process of reading the book to my child has less to do with the content of the book and more to do with what?
Content can be important. There's certain early literacy skills that you get from different parts of a book. And so content can be there if it's increasing their vocabulary. Another one is print awareness, just that kids know how books work. They know that there are words and that print has meaning. That's a skill that they need to be ready to be able to learn. So some of those things are important and related to the words.
Okay, but the skills you just gave us
Yes.
have less to do with the content and more to do with...
More to do sharing with your child and allowing them to do some of the thinking and interpreting of the pictures. They're learning how to think. They're thinking on their own and interacting. Right. So it's just a different kind of sharing.
Okay.
So do you think you could, does that make sense? Do you think you could do this with your child? I mean, they aren't going to say, you asked me a yes or no question, you know. So don't be afraid to try this.
How many of you, looking at this list, how many of you do some of these things kind of naturally when you're reading? Or you do this currently? Anyone?
Word for word on there, but yeah.
Not word for word,
Get
but
interactive with the book. What color is that? What is that?
Okay.
Right.
I have a 2-year-old at home that doesn't talk much.
Okay.
So I try to get him to say new words when I'm reading.
Sure.
Helps.
Yeah, so that helps.
Yep.
All right, what book do you read, Travis?
All of them.
All of them?
Oh,
Okay.
I don't know the names of them.
Okay. You just read one. You said you do it as well? Oh, he usually reads it to you? You said he.
I just started, I just take the book, start the first line,
Yep.
start asking.
Oh, okay.
Then he will read it, after that, he solve it.
Yeah. So he'll come up with.
Even with movies, if you watch the movie, tell me the summary.
Okay. So you ask him to give you a summary of the end. Okay. Cool.
Interesting.
We do that too at home though, we just use your
Sure.
imagination, what do you think this page tells me?
Yeah, that's great.
What kind of story will it give me back?
Right.
Like you say, you can read at a kid or you can have them help you do the work.
Right. And both are valid.
Absolutely, they
yeah.
will have their place.
Right. But we all like to be heard and like to share, and so it's just another way of involving kids with books. And we really want them to feel good about books, because then when they get to school, books are a good thing. So it's a lot of what we do at the library.
Because where do people hide things? In books. Tax code.
You got that wrong.
Oh.
It's only when you can't get it put together on your own do you read the instructions.
Yes, if you can't do it on your own, then you read the instructions. Right. But we know that contracts are full of things that if you don't read them, can be problematic for you, right? So reading contracts, reading books become important things as adults.
That's very true.
And that starts with being a kid.
More easier for them to understand or to understand it, you know?
Yep.
Rather to read,
Yep.
it can make easy and to make
Right.
Yeah, certainly to make it easier to read and to explore and know things.
They say even 4-year-olds spend 96% of their time on any book page looking at the picture. 96%. Only 4% on the words. So sometimes we do want to point out the words and teach them how we read. We read left to right, top to bottom. So I thought that was a really interesting fact. 96% of their time they're looking at the picture anyway.
I just saw last night, we read left to right. From the 6-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then like my daughter, I read for her one times, and just after that, she keep looking at the picture and she read for me what I read for her. And that's amazing, you know, for that reason, the picture make for the kid much easier.
Yep.
Right.
Which is why children's books has the best pictures ever in those books. Yep. Also know and don't be tricked, because your kids have memories like elephants. And so they will memorize those books and trick you into thinking that they're reading. So anybody read one of those stories a million times and the kid is like, you know, like, you're not reading, you know.
That's
So
why you need to come to the library to get new books every week.
every week. Yeah. Do you have any other cool books in your satchel?
Some of these are fun. This one was based on a true story. This boy stuttered. And when he went to the zoo as a boy, he loved the jaguars at the zoo, and he felt bad that they were in a cage. And he ended up dedicating his life to saving jaguars in South America.
Wow.
And he said he really thought it was because he stuttered that made him have that connection with the animals and really shaped his life. So this is kind of a powerful story. Some of these are creative. This one is Frutal, and I thought this was a fun idea. One day the bird decided he wasn't going to say tweet, tweet, tweet. He was way beyond that. And so he made up different words. So he started saying frutal instead of tweet. And eventually at the end of the book, all of the birds have come up with their own new call. So it took a while to convince the crow, but he finally came around. And then at the end, the cat is saying schmoodle, and the dog is saying skerpoodle. So everybody came up with new words. So lots of creative stuff this year. This one I liked. It was this one's a good one about acceptance. It's called Gaston, and there's this family of dogs. So Mrs. Poodle had 4 puppies: Fifi, Fufu, Ooh La La, and Gaston. And down the block there was a poodle or a bulldog family that had one dog that ended up looking like a poodle. So obviously the puppies were switched. Then they switched them back, but nobody was happy. So they decided that families were more based on love than on looks. So this was a good one about acceptance.
That rings all sorts of stuff, right? Because I feel like I'm a pit bull in my family of poodles.
And we do have some Spanish language materials at our library too. So if you want to read Spanish language things to your children, we provide those other languages too. This one is Little Rojo Riding Hood. It has a lot of Spanish words in it, and even if you don't speak Spanish, this is like Spanish one word. Even I know these words. And anyway, Little Red is taking soup to grandmother, but in this story, the soup is very spicy, and that's what ends up saving grandma from the wolf, was that the soup was so spicy. So some new twists on some old classics too. So I hope I can see you all at the library again. I work at the Northtown Library, but we have libraries all over the county, and they're all free, and they all have great programs. So stop in and say hi.
What time you guys open till, like 6 or something?
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, we close at 8, and then the rest of the week, it's 6 o'clock.
Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, 8.
Yep.
Dana, do you have your great big puzzle out yet that everybody works on in the community?
Yeah, we do. We have a jigsaw puzzle on a table, and there's always somebody working on it.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's crazy that people love it so much, but who wants to have that on your dining room table at home? So people come and do it at the library. So things for adults and kids.
What? So I know that you were joking somewhat when you talked about the automotive book list for people who want to possibly fix cars.
Yeah.
What other resources are there like that for adults?
For adults. So reading materials, fiction and nonfiction, we have appliance repairs, we have home repairs, and DVDs too. So if you want to see how to tile your kitchen, you can watch a DVD, and you don't have to read the book if you don't want. Or if you're snowed in this winter, we have tons of movies and TV shows on DVD you can check out for free. Or books to listen to in your car. I like to do that, especially for longer trips. We have language learning programs. So if you want to learn another language, it's almost like Rosetta Stone. You've seen that advertised.
Oh, yeah.
But it's free with your library card, and you can do it from home if you have a computer at home. A free course.
So just log in with your card.
With your library card, yep. Or from the library, either way.
Okay.
So those are some of our popular things. If you have older students that get stuck on their homework or don't like to have dad help with homework, we've got live tutors you can connect with. And when the algebra starts getting harder, I know that I use that at my house. So it was a good thing. When you need to know when the train left the station, you can just ask the
Where they're
tutor.
going to pass.
Exactly.
Yes.
And the ebook, like at 2 in the morning when I go to sleep, when I read all my books, I downloaded books from the library.
Yeah. We have ebooks, so if you have a smartphone or a tablet, and you can download books in English and Spanish, so you don't even have to come to the library. And you check them out just like you would a regular book, and then after 3 weeks, they just disappear. So there's no fines, no returning anything, no losing anything. So that's a good way to do things too. But on the other hand, if you are done with it after 3 weeks, it just disappears, and then you have to check it out again, find out what happened.
Cool. Any questions for Dana? All right.
The forms here with you?
I did bring some, yes. So if you don't have a library card and you'd like to get one, I brought some forms. You can fill it out, and I can take it back to the library with me, and they'll mail your card to you. I also brought just some bookmarks. The early literacy things we promote for kids to help them be ready to learn to read is Read, Write, Sing, Talk, and Play. So this is a bookmark that kind of talks about what you can do with your child to get them ready to read. And then this is just our hours and locations and our website on here. So I can leave these up here for a while. But thank you, everybody, for your attention, and I hope I see you at the library.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So last time we talked a little bit about being positive, particularly in a world where negativity seems to be accepted as normal. And I think these particular books are very interesting. The one that struck me the most was Gaston. This really struck a chord with me because I know a lot of times I have felt out of place. I was joking, but in some ways in my family, I'm like, I don't belong to these people. What's wrong with them? Because I'm so different. And so I think particularly in children's literature, there are lots of moral lessons to be learned about the world. And we can take the opportunities in changing up those books and looking for books that teach the types of principles that we want our kids to live by. Because if we don't teach them, how will they learn those things? Right? As you were growing up, were there stories or readings that were given to you that talked about your parents' idea of their moral standards? Can you think of any books or stories that related to that as you were coming up? No? Okay. Do you want your kids to be able to answer that question? Right? Because I also do community mediations. I work with the community around, so when juveniles steal things from stores like Target or Walmart, oftentimes they do not want them to show up in court. They would prefer that the kid get some help. And so I'm one of those people that they talk to get some help. This last conference that I did, I asked the young man this one question. His parents were in the room, and they were all stunned because the question was an obvious one, but one they never talked about. And I asked the kid, what did your parents tell you about stealing, about theft? And guess what his response